everyone, it's Sky here and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new. Today we are going to be starting our October color along. I am so excited. You guys know that Halloween is my favorite season. I always try and go above and beyond. We usually try to have 2 different color alongs and I usually try to participate in Inktober, very often unsuccessfully because it's just way too much, but it's such a fun month. Mine and Rain's birthday is this month, so yeah, very, very exciting, lots going on. So I think all of you voted on the Halloween color along. So I think I did 4 options from Jasmine Becket-Griffith's Halloween book, and then I think there was 1 option from her first book because she's got a few Halloween themed images in that one as well. And the page that was chosen is within Jasmine Becket-Griffith's Halloween coloring book, so that's the book that we're going to be working on. This is our main color along. I am really hoping to have a kind of side Halloween color along that's going to be with markers in a Hannah Lynn book, and keep an eye out for that. If I don't get around to having that filmed and out for October, then it will definitely be a project for a later date. It will still be on my list. So either way, that will eventually be coming out. I'm just not too sure when, but hopefully I get my ducks in a row and I can get that out during October as well. You guys will know because it will have been posted in the community tabs if I was able to get that done. Anyways, for this color along, we're going to be using our Prismacolor Premiers, and I'm very excited. So the page that was chosen is Pumpkin King's Night Out. And of course, this is a page that I do want to color, but it is also probably the most intimidating page out of all the options that I gave you guys. So once again, thanks for always pushing me out of my comfort zone. I'm a little bit nervous, but I think this will turn out okay. I was a little bit stuck for inspiration. So as always, I like to turn to the groups and kind of see what everybody else did. Sometimes it's not always the best idea for that because then sometimes you're influenced by other people's colorings, which in this case I 100% was, not even going to lie. So shout out to Madison Cole. This is the first person that I found that did this. This was back in 2016 and I wasn't able to find any further back posts that did this. So I'm assuming she was the first person that attempted this, and I 1000% would love to do this as well. I'm definitely going to put my own spin and style on it, but as soon as I seen this done as, she didn't do Jack and Sally, she did, I can't remember his name, Santa Claus, I think was his name, or I can't remember. Anyway, so she did this guy and Sally. I'm going to do Jack and Sally. And then I'm also going to very heavily rely on purple in this page. So I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out. So there is going to be a little bit of drawing here because we do want to kind of focus on Sally's dress and kind of make it look a little bit more like her. And then the page that's kind of, the picture I'm going to be using as kind of like inspiration for this page is this one here, which is actually off of Amazon. This is like a diamond painting that you can buy on Amazon. So I would definitely like to kind of recreate the moon here. And then I love the purples in Jack's outfit, so I would love to put that in mine. And then I do love the colors in Sally's dress, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go the more colorful route or like the kind of desaturated look. I think I do like the desaturated look better, especially if we're going to be having purples in there. I think it'll just look better. She does stand out quite a bit with her colors, but I think I want her to blend more in a little bit. So it should be fun. We also have lightning in this picture, so we're going to be able to do a lighting effect as well. So really, really excited for that. So I think that's everything I wanted to say. Let's go ahead and dive on in. I'm just going to zoom in and then we'll get started. Okay, so I am going to completely follow Madison Cole's kind of drawing for the dress. I really like that style of the dress, and hers is way easier to see than any pictures that I could find with that dress style. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. So let's see here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to kind of come down from here. We're going to use this as our starting point, and I'm just going to create a little bit of like a curved line here. Keep in mind that this doesn't have to be perfect by any means. So I'm going to do that one first, and then here, let's kind of create this line coming over here, maybe just around her thumb. So I'm kind of using Madison Cole's image as a reference, but I'm not copying it completely. I'm going to use it more for like the patterns and the rough placement, but I'm not trying to make mine look identical at all. So now that we have those two in there, this one that we had here kind of tucks in from behind her hair, and it's going to come down like this. And then we're going to have one here that goes in behind her hair and goes like that. So we're going to have little stitch marks, and we can just kind of make them random. They don't have to be all perfect. Some can be crisscross, some can be slanted one way, some can be another way. It's going to add to the interest. I'm just kind of doing this randomly, no rhyme or reason really. Okay, we'll do some lines kind of on the hem of the skirt of the dress as well. And then also on each seam here too. So this, I'm not sure if this is part of her dress or part of the wing or what's going on here. It took me a little while to figure out what is going on in this picture. So the pumpkin guy is wearing like a cape that is kind of tucked in behind them. And then this wing is hers. And then I don't know what this part is. I'll have to look at Jasmine's picture again. I did kind of look up her picture for reference to kind of see what these items were. I am not going to make them stand out at all. I'm going to make them blend into the background as much as possible because I want these guys to be the focal points. And honestly, I feel like all of this stuff around them is very confusing with the way that the picture is cropped off. If you're familiar with Jasmine's work, you know that all of her work is based off of her acrylic paintings. So they can't fit the whole painting in this page. They have it quite cropped. So you can't really make out that this is a cape. I find that these details are just confusing. I definitely would have loved it if they would have left his cape and even her wings out. But like I said, my solution to that is just to kind of have it blend into the background. So it's still there, but it's not going to be very noticeable. It's not going to stand out at all. I don't know what this is. I guess we're just gonna keep it as part of her skirt. I think it actually might be like her skirt ends here, and then this is gonna, like the sky, the background of the sky probably. No, that wouldn't make sense because this is his cape. It would go all the way around. It wouldn't just end here. So maybe it is her skirt. We'll do the skirt. It's all good. Okay, so from here, now we're just gonna start drawing some swirly patterns on this one. These don't have to be perfect at all. don't know if I really like that circly thing. I like the spiral, just not that circly thingamabob that I did in the center of it. I think that looks okay. So this one's going to be just plain. This one, we're going to have these little circles on there, and I'm just going to put a few in randomly. You can draw this circle right through her hair if you wanted to, and then just kind of erase out from her hair if that's easier to kind of get it placed a little bit better. This one's gonna have small little dots, which are actually, the way she has it, it's just in like a different color, but I think I'm gonna actually put black dots on mine. So I'm just gonna make a couple little dots here. Maybe like that. This one's going to be solid color. It looks like her skirt is solid color. Okay, so now I'm going to pull up my picture of Sally here, and we're going to put the stitches in on her face. I'm just going to make sure that you can also see her face here too. So yeah, this is a little bit drawing heavy. Hopefully it's okay. I can't tell if her eyebrows have stitches on them too or not. Okay, so it looks like she has, this line kind of comes from here. She's got kind of stitches coming out from her cheeks. So we're just gonna draw out from her cheeks a little bit until we're happy with that. In this picture, her face is turned, so I can't tell if there's any more on her face. We'll come back to her face if there is. We're gonna try and give her the one on her neck. You can't see this lady's neck very well, but a little bit. She's got one on her arm here. And this one kind of connects to her dress, it looks like. So we'll do that too, have it kind of coming down like that. And then again, she's turned a bit. I got a cat at the door, just one sec. Okay, so it looks like she has one on her arm like this. There's one on her wrist. She's got one that would kind of, I guess, come up like that maybe. Okay. I'm gonna erase this one and bring it up a little ways, like maybe about here, and we're gonna curve it like this. So we're gonna make it seem more like her shoulder is gonna be a little bit stitched. And we're gonna do the same thing that we kind of did with her dress here. We're just gonna make some random stitches. We don't want them all to be the same. I probably won't put too many X stitches in these ones, but we'll see. Okay, I like this one. Yeah, the stitches just don't look the same unless they're kind of just off a little bit. Okay, I think the one on her neck, I want it to be a little bit more prominent. So we're gonna have to lower that a little bit so it's not hidden. So it's not gonna be necessarily on her neck, but we can kind of have it maybe coming down like this. Is kind of like a neckline almost. Okay, like that one. This one on her arm here. I need better reference pictures for her. She is like, it's very hard to find stills of this, which is ridiculous because it's a very popular movie. Okay, this one, I'm gonna kind of go, so she's got one here. She's got one that kind of like comes up here, I think. There's one that kind of comes, let's see if her arm is turned. I'm going off of this one here, so it's, her arm is kind of like turned out so we can see the inside of it. I assume that that would be this one here, maybe. It kind of like loops around. She's got a couple, one kind of comes like this. Maybe let's do it this way. Like this, maybe. They just look a little bit too, I don't know, too weird. Okay, this one, let's angle down. I'm gonna go a little bit more off of Madison's here. Hers looks okay, so let's do this with the wrist ones. Almost like they're touching. Okay, once we're happy with that is the scary part. We are going to be going in and making it permanent. So any kind of black marker should work. I am just going to use my Sharpie S gel pen in my 0.7. I absolutely adore these pens. They're very good. Any kind of permanent pen would work. We're going to be going over and adding a little bit of like white highlights to the stitches and stuff to make them stand out a little bit more. I don't think we're going to be using anything other than that. So I think even just like a water-based fine liner would probably work okay as well. Just later on when we're doing the white highlights, if you used a water-based marker, just try to put your highlights above or like beside the black lines instead of right on top. But yeah, let's go in and make this permanent. Oof. There's no going back now. I think I'm going to switch to my 0.5 Sharpie for like the details on this one. Darn cat. trying to be messy with this while also being a little bit more sparse with the stitches. I'm not drawing in as many as I initially put. Kind of just using those ones as a guide and picking out the ones that I like. Okay, so now I'm just going to switch to a 0.5. So again, this is just a Sharpie S gel. They're fairly cheap at Walmart. I use these pens for literally everything. They're my absolute favorite. And let's just try and draw in some of these lines here. Trying to be a little bit looser with them. I don't want them to be so much. So I'm just going to grab a few out of these. There, I think that looks good. So one thing that I don't like about these pens is they do, for a Sharpie, they seem to have a fairly long drying time. I definitely am not going to go through and erase my pencil marks for at least a day. So I would recommend doing the same regardless of what kind of black marker or fine liner you used, because that would be the absolute worst if you accidentally smudged it. So we are going to avoid working on her for now. We're going to let her dry and we are going to focus on the background. So I'm actually just going to place this over top of her. We're going to move up here. We're going to do a little bit more drawing. Okay, so I'm going to switch to that picture that I was showing you guys from earlier. The one with the moon. And I'm just going to kind of try to draw in this shape on the moon that we have here. That way it's a little bit easier to keep. So let's see, we've got kind of like a crater here. You don't necessarily have to draw this out unless you'd like to. You can just kind of follow along when I place the colors down. Totally up to you, whatever makes you more comfortable. My drawing of this isn't going to be completely perfect anyways. I just want the general idea of it. It's a little bit tricky because this moon is kind of tucked in behind the clouds, so I don't know. I'm going to make it a little bit easier for myself here. No, I don't like that either. I'll figure this out. Don't worry, guys. Let's maybe start from the top, and I'll just kind of start from the part of the shape that I really want in the picture and then go from there, I think. Since I'm not trying to get it perfect, this should work. And then we've got this coming like that over here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And then let's, I've got this little like inner area here. Got a little bit of a glow here. A little bit here. Okay. I like that. I wonder, I'm just gonna play around with this idea. What if we had, this be too much if we had like a little bit of like a fence back here? I think it might be too much. Let's just leave that up. I don't think it makes sense with the cape and the wings, but oh well. Okay, I think that's it for the drawing bits. All right, drink some water because I'm nervous. Okay, so I've got some interesting colors for the background. I think it'll turn out, I want to do a kind of bluish purple or bluish toned background. For one reason being, I think that it looks better with the blues that are going to be in this, and I like the cooler tones. And then also because if we want to put some white highlights over it, it's not going to bleed through like if we used a red toned purple. So yeah. Okay, let's kind of tackle, make sure I'm in frame. I should be, oh no. Okay, well, I guess the drawing part of that wasn't in frame. I must have moved the book. I could have swore I moved that up. I'm sorry. Anyways, this is kind of the design I went for the moon. Again, you guys don't have to draw that in. You can just leave it and you can follow along when we color. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the white kind of around the lightning here. It's probably a little bit redundant to do this because you can't really notice it anyways, but and then we're going to go straight into our darkest color, because why not? We're going to start with this cloud here. Why not? Let's add some black in here. So we'll start with black, and then we're going to kind of bring it out and fade it out. It always takes me a little bit to get used to coloring in Jasmine's book again. They're not my favorite, but they are also my favorite. It doesn't make sense. I don't like coloring in them. I feel like they're a little bit hard to color in, but the look after it's colored, so pretty. Like a pumpkin gift, we did that one a couple Halloweens ago. One of my favorites. I absolutely adore it. Okay, I don't want to go too far. I want to have like a little bit of a highlight here. I don't want it to be a super white highlight, so I think I'm going to highlight this cloud with the lavender. And my reasoning for that is because we have the lightning right beside it, so I really want the lightning down here to be a little bit lighter than the cloud itself. I'll be happy when everything close to the ditch is colored. It stresses me out a little bit. I'm also going to mute my phone because it likes to talk. Let's go in with our black grape. don't want to bring this out too far, but I don't really know. Let's just really work this into the shadows here. And fade it out, and then we'll switch over to our violet. Make sure we're kind of fading this out close to the edges of the clouds. Or in this case, cloud, I guess. It's just one. I want to make sure that fade is really, really soft. So just very lightly going into the lighter area. I'm going to grab a pencil extender for my lavender because it's pretty small. I can't even, get my pencil out of this one. There we go. It's in there pretty good. I'm also going to sharpen this just a little bit. Yeah, and it broke. Might have to put a poll up for some good pencil sharpeners. I might have to buy a new one because this one is, I think it's the pencil sharpener, not the pencils. I don't think this one's good. Okay, so let's pop this in. We're gonna go build up some layers kind of in around here to help fade everything out together. I'm gonna grab my brush here because I got lots of little pencil dust all over the place now, and I don't want to smudge that in anywhere that I don't want it. So I'm gonna bring this out a little bit, and I'm still gonna fade it out towards the edges. It's still gonna have that lavender hue. I don't want it to be fully lavender at the edges though. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good so far, hopefully. So we're actually gonna bring the sky blue light in here as well. And for here, I'm just gonna color around the edges and just blend it a little bit into the other colors as well. There we go, our first cloud colored. That is an achievement. I might just end up pulling the new lavender out from my Prisma case. A let's go in and kind of start blocking out this area around the lightning bolt. I want a little bit of the lavender to show through, but I really want this to be light. So I'm not going in too close to the edges of the lightning. I'm going to tuck a little bit of the lavender in there. I'm stressed out, guys. I'm very stressed out, not gonna lie at all. I don't know what I'm doing. I hate this paper. I honestly do. I hate this paper. I need my new pencil. This is not good. All right. Let's grab a little bit of the violet so we can tuck a little bit in here. Maybe a tiny bit in here. Let's put a little bit just kind of in this corner here. I don't think I'm going to work down here so much. I'm going to focus like more in the, in the areas up here because I don't know how dark I want to go for like the main sky color. So I think I'm going to focus more on this top part first and like figure out the lightning. We can also go in with a Posca pen later on and like add a little bit more to the glow. So it's okay if it doesn't turn out perfect. Let's add a little bit of the sky blue light coming off of the lightning maybe. Maybe we'll have the lightning completely white and then we'll just have the sky blue light kind of coming off from it, fading into the other colors. Let's go back in with the lavender. So now we can kind of fade that a little bit into the sky blue light. The camera's probably not picking up the sky blue light, but it is there. So hopefully you guys will be able to see yours and you can kind of use that as your guide. You just want your lavender coming in lightly with it, but you don't want it going over too much. So we can add a little bit more of the violet. Bring that out a little bit further in some of these areas. We're just going to gently kind of fade it in there. Just little tiny bits. And then let's actually add the black grape in some of these larger areas too. Like we can probably add it here. Mostly just around this cloud, and then we'll fade it out just a little bit. And then this one too, just in this little corner, we can add some of that. Full disclosure, I have no idea what I'm doing. You guys will have seen the final result already. I really hope it's a good one. Go in with a little bit more of the lavender. I'm going in a little bit darker around these areas that aren't going to be super light. And then again, just working on fading it into that sky blue light. Okay, I'm gonna have to hope that that's good enough. And then I think what we'll do is let's go in with the sky blue light on top of the lavender and stuff and fade it out. And we're actually gonna fade it out into the sky blue light as well. I'm not gonna touch the sky blue light. I'm gonna fade it out into it. Okay, and then in the sky blue light spots, let's add the white, and we're gonna do the opposite. We're gonna color over this area and just fade it back into the darker colors. So a little bit of extra work, really hoping that it's gonna pay off. I think it looks good, but it's such a small area that it's really hard to tell. We're not gonna know until we get, I think like the area around this colored, and then I think maybe it'll start making sense. Right now it looks a bit funny, but I'm optimistic, which is more than I can say I felt even a few minutes ago. I think it looks good. I hope it looks good. Okay, so let's talk colors here a little bit. So what else can we see? I don't think I'm gonna smudge anything on her. I'm gonna take this off. As long as I'm not like rubbing like crazy at something, it should be fine. So, I'm sorry, again, where can we see? I'm gonna do his head white, and it's gonna be like a white with like a purple kind of glow. His suit, I'm debating putting in like the pinstripe, I think that's what that's called, with like the lines. I'm debating drawing in his jacket like that, so that way it looks a little bit more like Jack Skellington. It's gonna be basically like the Jack Skellington pumpkin version, I guess. I don't know. We're winging it. I want it to represent them, but I still want to kind of keep it a little bit true to the picture, especially the pumpkin, because he's by title like the main character of this. So my concern is I want them to be able to stand out from the background. So I wonder if it would make sense to kind of have them glowing as well, like having like a little bit of like a white glow around them, but I don't know if that would make sense because then they're technically still not glowing. Like for him it might be cool because his head's gonna be white with a little bit of purple. His suit though, not so much. But I also don't know if I want to go like super dark down here because then his suit might not show up. I mean, we could do a little bit of a glow outline like on his suit to kind of break it up. But then I also don't know what to do about down here. I was definitely saying that I want to keep that area similar to the background. It's basically going to look like more background. And I do notice that a lot of people did that. It seems like a lot of people didn't really know what to color this as. And I think this might supposed to be lightning. I don't know if you can see, but this like little thing just below here. I don't want to move the book, but I don't know if it's actually supposed to be or not. I'll look up Jasmine's picture and see what this is. Okay, so this is actually supposed to be more lightning. It's kind of like lightning wrapped around a cloud. I don't know, it's really weird. It's like, it's that spot right there. And then, let's see. Down here is supposed to be lightning as well. I'll keep it in as lightning because I don't really know what else to color it as. So I think, again, where can we see till? I think coloring down to here, I'm just gonna do a little bit of the black. So I'm gonna just keep it like a really dark purple in around here, and then I'll probably just do his cape like straight black. I don't know what we'll do for the trim of his cape. I'll probably do that like a dark purple as well, maybe. Oh, I shouldn't have come straight up to that. Hold on here. Better eraser. We want this to be lightning, so I think I just hooped it. Darn it. You know what? I'm not gonna keep this as lightning. I already just wrecked it. I'm gonna color over this. I think I am gonna make his head glow though, because I think that would look really cool. Do it a little bit opposite because I think a lot of people would have his eyes glowing. And I think I'm going to have his eyes like pitch dark, and then his head will be very light with that purpley glow. And I think it'll look really cool, hopefully. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I'm very stressed out about this picture. And I think that's why a lot of my color alongs turn out so good, because I'm usually super stressed and then I just decide, well, screw it. I'm just gonna wing it, and then I'm not as stressed, and then it turns out really good because I'm not overthinking it. I do overthink it along the way in some places, but trying to get like pencil to fade really nice on this paper is a nightmare before Christmas. Just kidding, that was a bad pun. Okay, so while we're coloring on this side, I'm going to grab the sky blue light, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the lightning, and I'm place this around his head and just fade it out a little bit. So let's just very, very lightly bring the lavender in a little bit. Let's go back in with our sky blue light, and we'll do the bottom side of this lightning as well. Might as well while we're kind of working on a glow anyways. Let's add a little bit more black just down in this area. I'm just going to add an extra layer of black, probably to about here where I kind of messed up, and then we'll start fading that out. Let's go in with the black grape. So add a layer of this. start fading that out maybe right about here. Okay, and then let's switch to the violet. Add a layer of violet here. So let's kind of outline his shoulder here. And then we can start fading out into the glow. Okay, let's work kind of below the bat here because pretty much done in that area. I do want to go through and kind of do the final burnish and blend with the lavender because it seems to work very well doing it that way. Let's give this guy a sharpen. Just going to lightly and very carefully blend the lavender into our highlight here. just going to keep working the lavender into these areas that don't really look burnished or still have a fair bit of weight to them. I'm trying not to overwork it because this paper probably will tear if I did do that, but definitely want to get some softer transitions here in some areas. And some of them, they're just looking a little bit too harsh for my liking. So I'm just going over these areas and trying to soften them up. And then I think we'll do the same thing we did with the lightning. So I'm going to go in with the sky blue light. I'm going to kind of fade this into the sky blue light highlight we have here. And then after, we'll go in over the very lightest highlight with the white and blend back into these colors. Okay, so let's work backwards up into these after I sharpen my pencil. That's what I get for dropping it. That one probably is me. Can't blame the sharpener there. I mean, I can, but it's probably not fair if I did. All right, calm down now. This pencil's got attitude now. It's like, how dare you drop me? Okay, I'm liking that actually. This background's gonna take a long time. This might have to be a 5-parter. We'll see. We will see. Definitely want to take my time on it, that's for sure, but actually let's go in with the black again in here. I don't know exactly where to stop it, but maybe like that. I don't know. I just feel like there needs to be a little bit more black in here. Let's maybe fade it out there. And then let's go back in with the violet. Don't want to get too close to that, so let's stop there. And then let's kind of bring our lavender into the highlights a little bit, just lightly fade up to it. I'm not really going into it yet, just kind of going up to the area where we can see it mostly. Just to kind of get that good clear boundary in there so we know not to color too far towards that. Gives us that little bit of a wiggle room. Me specifically, because I love to make things dark without trying to, unintentionally. Okay, so we're just going to fade this up to the lavender. Maybe make some of this area a little bit darker. Not by increasing the pressure a whole bunch, but just lots and lots of little layers with this paper. Once we're happy with that, then we can go back in with the lavender. So I'm going to go color over all of this not lilac, violet. Work on blending this into the darker bits just to help soften it up a little ways. So just going to blend this very, very lightly in towards the blue. Just working towards that really soft fade. Okay, once happy with it, we're going to go in with the sky blue light and fade into the blue. So we can go over this area again with the sky blue light if we want. I do kind of like the look that it gives. It looks pretty good. And then same as before with the white, we're going to go over the blue and then fade this in. See how this is looking on camera. It looks pretty glowy. Pretty glowy. That's good. We're definitely not getting the entire background done in this part. I probably should have done her patterns in a different part, but it needed to be done that way it can dry. Really liking the glowing effect that we're getting here. So I think I want to do this cloud the same way we kind of did this one here. So I'm just going to lightly base the highlights with the lavender. And let's do this cloud too. We'll try and get this area done, like around his head anyways. And then the rest of this maybe we can do in the next part and kind of go from there. Realistically, I would like to get it all done in this part, but I think it's just too much. I'm gonna grab the sky blue light. I'm gonna give it a slight sharpen and make sure that the tip of it's clean. And then let's add a little bit of a glow to his head here. All right, let's go in with our black. I'm gonna add a little bit here, just kind of fade it out right away. And then kind of around the middle of this cloud here. Try and fade this out a little bit. I don't think I'll put any black in here. I think I'm gonna leave it alone. Open up my window a little bit here. I don't want to take my sweater off because then I'll just get cold right again after. Okay, so black grape is gonna kind of go in the center over this. Only problem is the vehicles passing by are going to be a little bit loud. Hopefully that's okay. Let's add a little bit of the black grape in here. And actually, while it's on my mind, I'm going to go back in with a sky blue light and just put a little bit here because I don't think I ever did. So let's add a little bit of a highlight there for our lightning bolts. We're going to focus on this top cloud and get this top cloud done, and then we'll move down. So I'm going to go in with the violet. Start adding a layer in over top of our shadows. And just bring it out slightly. And we're just going to keep working that color until we get the depth that we want. I feel like the violet is a little bit more of a scratchier color, so it's a little bit hard to get that pigment onto the paper. I don't know why that is with some of the colors, but a lot of the blues I find are like that. So since this is a blue toned violet, that's probably why. I think that looks okay. So let's go with that. We can always add more a little bit later if we need to. I think I'm okay with it though. So let's go in with the lavender. We'll start kind of burnishing and blending this out. We'll see what it looks like. It's mixing with the lavender pretty good. It's giving us a decent color. I think I'm happy with that. Okay, and then we want to fade this out to the tips of the cloud, so to the edges. Okay, kind of stop in there and then go in with the sky blue lights. We're going to go in on the edges and we can fade this in a little bit too. Okay. Let's blend the violet up to the blue a little bit here. Basically just going to base this whole cloud here. And then, I don't know, I guess let's just go in with the violet. We're going to bring the violet up from the black here. Fade that out. Again, pretty quick because there's not much room there. We're going to fade the violet out into the lavender around here. And then I guess on this part of the cloud, we're just going to kind of fade it both ways. I'm going to go a little bit lighter because I don't know if I want to add any of the darker colors, so I want to kind of leave that opportunity open for now. I don't think I'm going to though. I think I'm going to leave this part of the cloud relatively light. I don't even think I'm going to go super dark with the violet. I'll add a little bit more definition down here, and then maybe a little bit up here as well, but I think for the most part I'm going to leave it a little bit lighter. Just make sure to kind of fade it out a little bit nice. This is a little bit of a hard picture. Hopefully you guys are doing okay with it so far. Just gonna blend into the blue here. Just curious if I want to make it a little bit darker. I don't think so. I think I'll probably make these areas here and here a little bit darker, and then again around the clouds a little bit darker, just so the moon glow stands out a little bit more. So I think just kind of fade into the clouds just a little bit more. I don't think I'm going to go all the way to the end, but just a little bit further. And then let's go in with our sky blue light. So I'm going to start on this side here. Okay, we're just gonna lightly blend into the blue. Kind of stopping this right about here. We can kind of blend into these, into that area in the next part. Okay. Oh, actually, I guess I should probably do this bottom piece too. Look at me remembering things. That never happens. Okay, now in with the white. Okay, there is still quite a bit of light color here, so I'm just gonna try and work this out. Throw a little bit more of the lavender in the white bits where it's kind of in the middle. And then let's go back in with the sky blue light and just do some small circles and see if we can get rid of some of these speckles a little bit here. All right, I think that's looking amazing so far. It's definitely not enough to get a good idea of what this is going to look like, but it is definitely a very good start, I think. And I think the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Posca and I am going to completely white out this this lightning bolt. It's not the most opaque, I don't know why. It's not the worst either, I guess. Definitely gonna add a little bit of a white outline to the cloud there. Look how beautiful that looks. kind of want to keep a little bit of a cartoony vibe to this, so having these really bold outlines on the clouds will definitely help that. I'm not going to do this one yet because we still have to color the other side. And I do just want to grab my Uniball Signo and see if, I don't know if this is dry enough already or not, but not working very well. There we go. Uniball Signo goes over the Posca pen a little bit. Try and get rid of a little bit more of the lines here. I don't know, we can try and add another layer later on, but these white pens used to be the absolute best, and now they seem like garbage, all of them. I've been struggling with them almost every single time I go to use them. I don't know if I'm just expecting too much from them or if they just don't want to work, but it still gives a little preview of what this is going to look like, although you guys have probably already seen the finished picture for this, but I think that looks pretty good so far. The bats will probably be black with, actually we can probably just color the bats in right now. I think I'm actually just going to take my my S-Gel Sharpie and I'm just going to color these in with this because they're just going to be straight black. So there, just like a little something like that maybe. And again, we'll probably just go over the whites again in the next part to kind of bring it out a little bit more, but zoom on out here. As always, don't mind the mess. I got stuff everywhere. All right, that's what it's looking like for now. I'm actually a little bit more excited than I was before to see where this goes. I'm liking the background so far. It is a little bit more time consuming, even though it's a bit on the simpler side, if that even kind of makes sense. Like it's not simple by any means, but it has a simple look to it. But it is actually a lot of work. I think it's going to be worth it though. Yeah, in part 2, we will finish the clouds in the background for sure. We'll probably color down into here and get some of that blocked in, and then from there I'm not too sure where we'll go, but looking forward to seeing how this moves along. I think we might do the pumpkin head as soon as we're done the background, because I'm really excited and nervous for that, so I think it'd be better to get it out of the way. And then her hair is going to be bright orange. I'm going to take like more of the brighter version of Sally for her hair, and it's really going to contrast well with that purple, so I'm very excited for that. Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying so far. If you liked this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. It kind of helps get the video out there so others might see it and enjoy it as well. So would definitely appreciate that. And I hope you guys are enjoying so far, and I hope to see you in part 2. All right, guys, as always, take care and hope to see you next time. Bye.